This is WBZ TV Channel 4 Boston.
Designed for women's health concerns.
And it's time now for the Shawmut Pink Newsteller for this July 15th, 1948 on us Thursday. Good evening, I'm Arch MacDonald in the news. What's happening? In Middlebury, Farmer John Brown says his harvest will become history. Farmer Brown will tell you, and then he says if he's careful and calmly, that he discovered the creator of all life in the universe. He calls it the master cell. In his last 4 years, he says this master cell has produced phenomenal growth in his crops and achieved wonders in combating disease and among poultry and cattle. Brown, who is 61 and a retired pharmacist as well as farmers, states predict what the application of a master cell could mean to human life. But we will have the three triologists said in that there's a report of a Brands Association. Gustav Gerner, for 35 years, manager of the Boston office of the EI DuPont de Moores. The master cell, which has been exciting farmers in the area for some time, is now drawn to study as scientists. In Havana, the bizarre details of how a vaudeville singer fatally shot the 21-year-old son of a socially prominent Brookline, Massachusetts family on a dare was revealed here yesterday at a recorded inquiry hearing. Thompson Newberry Jr. of 12 Glencore Road in Chestnut Hill, the son of Mrs. Beatrice Newberry, and late Thompson Newberry Sr., reportedly former millionaire of Taunton, Massachusetts, died in Calypso Hospital after being shot by the stomach in a hotel room. The girl shot me by mistake. She didn't know the gun was loaded. A young war veteran and Phillips executor, county graduate, was quartered detained just before he lost consciousness. The blonde singer, 34-year-old Laura DePaulo Mazzano, was held in women's prison. The rest of several persons holding high positions in River appeared in a minute was learned last night as week-old probe of the conditions in the city moved forward. It is set on the cheap figures and an alleged municipal graft and corruption, according to Assistant Attorney General Judge Fingal and another link in the chain of evidence being picked together by the state's record-busting team against the higher-ups was finished yesterday by a prominent River businessman described as a key witness in the investigation. Evidence that the state inquiry was moving speedily toward it was marked with seen in a hastily summoned conference at state police headquarters late yesterday. The top investigators and Judge John W. McLeod of Chelsea District Court, who set the wheels of the probe more than a week ago. Present at the parley, besides Judge McLeod, were Public Safety Commissioner John F. Stokes, Assistant Attorney General Fingal, and State Police Detective Gerald F. McCarthy, and Michael J. Colonnane. All the results in the conference were cloaked in secrecy. It was understood that Judge McLeod finished investigation with information from Chelsea District Court records. The new witness was picked up in Worcester. State detectives said and brought to River Investigation Headquarters, where he was questioned by Fingal and Lieutenant McCarthy. Investigators reported that the man's testimony corroborated the official Tuesday by 8 witnesses who answers to state questions pointed at 3 River City officials as a alleged involvement in the graft and corruption. In London, the Soviet government had informed that the 3 Western powers today that would be joined for power talks yesterday on the whole German problem, but not in the Berlin issue alone. Without saying so directly that the Soviet Union refused the demand of the 3 Western powers that the Russian blockade of road and rail communications from the West be lifted. Instead, it defended the blockade of a necessary move to protect the economy of the Soviet zone of Germany. The note said that 3 Western powers abolished their right to be in Berlin when they decided that recent 6-power London conference to set up a Western German state with its capital at Frankfurt. The text to the Soviet note to the United States was broadcast by a Moscow radio late last night. The text in American note also was broadcast on radio, pointing out that similar protests have been received from Britain and France, and added that 2 governments were received replies similar to the one sent in Washington.
2 weeks in most men. Asteron is not for use.
Everett, a 13-year-old Everett newsboy pedaling home after completed his deliveries about 4:30 yesterday, was critically injured. An 11-year-old girl escaped death by seconds when a heavy 6-wheel truck struck the boy's back and overturned on the sidewalk in front of the girl's home at 519 Ferry Street. And the Angeles at Wedden Memorial Hospital suffered a fractured skull. Internal injuries is Anthony Sayola, son of Mr. and Mrs. Luciana Screw of 503 Ferry Street. In Rome, a Sicilian law student shot and dangerously wounded Italy's top communist Palmico Togliatti yesterday. 5 persons were killed in a communist-inspired rioting, and the general strike was called in protesting against attempted assassination. Late last night, doctors said Togliatti was suffering improvement. He is in suffering shock from 3 gunshot wounds and received just before noon. He was leaving in the chamber of deputies to buy ice cream. The doctor said that there were no complications after no operation to remove the slug. Italy was tense. Many citizens feared the shooting might give the extreme left a pretext to seize the power denied in the April elections. As violence grew into the communist-dominated General Labor Worker Confederation called the general strike to begin at midnight. After a 3-hour meeting of the Confederation's Executive Committee, observers said that the labor leaders might keep the strike in enforcement attempt to force the resignation of the Casper administration and government. CIO employees at the American Sugar Refining Company in South Boston strike bound for 15 weeks were trembling and joined yesterday by a Suffolk Superior Court order from mass picketing and congregated within a half mile of the 9-acre plant. Judge Johnny Swift also enjoined the men from uttering an offensive language, threatening a $300 employees now at work opening a mobile loudspeaker at unreasonable times of volume and picked in a truck selling the company sugar. The case is returnable next Monday when counsel for the respondent local 1072 of the United Packing House Workers of America will seek to block a continuance of the injunction. In Detroit, the Ford Motor Company offered its 160,000 production workers a final 13 cents an hour wage increase last night, and the CIO union auto workers rejected it. Union delegates from 48 Ford plants to meet Thursday and presumably will offer a strike action. The representatives of the rank and file expect to leave the Senate a strike date to UAW National Ford Director Ken Bannon. In Philadelphia, President Truman was nominated for president at midnight. Senator Barkley was nominated for vice president acclamation at 1:30 a.m. And 5 minutes later, two of them walked to the stage of the Democratic National Convention as a crown piece of the strange political gathering. Dark-haired Mrs. Truman and fair-haired daughter Margaret were just beyond the president as he walked on the platform. The strains of the Missouri March in the convention held with a very warm welcome.
Retired military police.
For 4 hours, the president and the United States waited inside and outside the hall after a special train wrap from the White House at 9:15 p.m. last night. Part of the time he sat in Chairman McGrath's air-cooled office in the convention hall with his wife and daughter watching by television by the proceedings of the convention on the other side of the hall, listened to the endless speeches and roll calls. Finally, he wanted fresh air, even if it was an air-cooled, and Secret Service man took the red leather chair out to a driveway for trucks parked in the hall. There, the president sat for more than an hour. The long drawn-out routine finally got on everyone's nerves. Rules were suspended, and Barkley was nominated by acclamation.
Up there to have their pictures taken.
In Convention Hall, the Democratic National Convention
Turn the page.
handed itself a double-barrel defeat at the race issue yesterday as it slapped down Dixie State's right flank and then amended the platform that stamped endorsement on President Truman's Civil Rights Proclamation. The repercussion came loud and fast as the Mississippi delegation and half the 26 delegates in Alabama staked out to the convention taking a walk. In Philadelphia, Thursday, Herc Carlson, Meriden, New Hampshire Democratic National Committee, and his wife threw a little sand into the Democratic Convention gears early this morning when they were refused to cast their ballots in the presidential nominee. Ruling for the names of the states as they were pulled out of chairman of the convention called a sudden off when the New Hampshire delegation cast only 10.5 when the 12 ballots to which they were entitled. The delegation were individually polled and Mr. and Mrs. Carlson, she had half voted as an alternative attorney. Convention Hall, Philadelphia. President Truman will call Congress back into session in a month at this close tonight. He will say in a speech to the Democratic National Convention accepted the 1940 presidential nomination. In sports, the Boston Red Sox defeat the Detroit Tigers 13-5 at Fenway Park this afternoon. Tonight, the Red Sox and Tigers will play a nightcap at Fenway Park. In National League, the Boston Braves defeat the Chicago Cubs 2-1 and Boston Braves 2, Chicago Cubs 1. All the weather after this commercial break. Go Greyhound Racing. Post time 7:45. Daily Double closes at 7:30. However, for a great race of God on tonight's program at Wonderland, the feature event, the night race over the 560-mile course will be